Uncle Boo creeping to you. Snotty off the head, the biting off the head.
Oh yeah, Uncle Boo Boo's here. Uncle Boo Boo is here. Thank you. You're welcome. Little Uncle Boo Boo creeping through your window, catching up kids and biting off their heads.
Now, there's no need to be like that. We're gonna have so much fun together. Well, just you wait. Soon you'll be screaming with happiness.
Who's that, Mama?
That's you, little Uncle Boo Boo. Like a little bug.
How's the song go?
Like little Uncle Boo Boo, like.
Yeah. Little Uncle Boo Boo creeping through your window.
Knocking off the heads and biting off the heads.
Ha 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 ha.
That's Sister. Sister saying, ah! The only one green like Sister.
The only one's green like sister?
Sister greens.
Yeah.
Sister always greens. Sister say, ah!
So as you guys can tell, my 3-year-old daughter loves Uncle Boo Boo. You like it?
I don't love Uncle Boo Boo. I'm the only one that likes to really goose.
Yeah, because so he can run faster.
But he can run like Sonic.
Yeah. Ready to set him up?
Yeah.
All right. Say, stay tuned, everybody.
It says,
Janet.
someone green, someone
That says clowning around.
yeah. Since it says climbing around with some climbs.
Say, let's set it up.
And it says dreams for
Janet,
our good.
say, let's set it up.
That was
Say, let's get to it. Janet,
Right?
say, let's get to it.
No, I'm right.
I gotta close it out. Say, let's get to it.
It says,
Okay, bye. Say, let's get to it.
let's get to it.
What's up, everybody? Ro back with another video. This is clowning around Uncle Boo Boo. I'm gonna be setting this guy up. It is not a how to assemble him. It is basically how to help keep these guys outside and prevent from rain damage as much as possible. It's not gonna completely protect it, but it's gonna help. Also, set him up where some sort of anchoring system here, just so it's harder for someone to grab him and walk away. So let's get to it. All right, everybody, I opened up the box. This is what it looks like when you open it, where everything's placed nice and neat. The box is not that big. So again, this is another one, just like the Jack in the Box. Really big clown, but it actually stores away in a small box, not too small, but at least somewhere you can put in a storage or in your garage or maybe under your bed. No, not under your bed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, not under your bed.
Or put it in your bed.
Put it onto the
You want it in your bed?
No, not put it onto the bed.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So that's what it looks like in the box. Let me continue with what I was going to make this video about.
You're gonna put it both on your bed. Right, Daddy?
Yeah.
You're gonna put it
Both on their bed.
Yeah.
I'm back. And this thing went up really fast. I will say instructions, I hardly even need them. Everything pieces together. It's common sense. And this thing is some serious stuff. But what I want to share with you guys is the whole rainproofing thing, helping it last outside. It has this cover over here, and this mask is like, what do you call it? What do you call it? Very like latex? It's like a latex mask. So I don't think I'm even gonna have to do anything, because the whole motor thing is all up in here. Sorry, the motor's like all up in here, so it's pretty much well protected. And this guy here has all this stuff here. So this is the only thing I pretty much need to worry about. So I'm gonna see how all this works and then make like a drop cloth, like the same thing, like a trash bag down his back, and that's it. I mean, this helps out a lot with this guy because I'm gonna be able to drop a bag over and then keep this protected. Oh, sorry, I'm smashed over here because he's so big. Keep this protected, and yeah, we'll go from there. As far as keeping him from somebody walking away, this is pretty cool. It has a frame down here, so I'm probably gonna make something out of wood and lay it out and then basically spike it down maybe into the ground, maybe with some 12-inch spikes, so it'll be hard to pull it out, especially when hammered in. Another thing is these shoes, they're like plastic. There's nothing at the bottom, so I'm gonna look into getting maybe some real looking clown boots, or maybe what I'm gonna do is drill some holes and add some laces to it so it looks a little bit more realistic. But other than that, it is pretty awesome here. So let me assemble this, and then tomorrow I'll probably get started with the whole rainproofing thing and the whole theft thing, because I'm gonna have to go outside for that, and this I could finish up in the morning. All right, everybody. Good morning, we are back again. So the plan here is basically we're gonna try to kind of protect this section here for when it rains over here in California. It's probably gonna rain a lot more in other states, countries, stuff like that. But basically what I'm trying to do here is just keep all this protected so I'm not having to lug this in. Now I'm not sure 100% if it's going to keep this protected and safe. So you're doing this at your own risk. I am doing this as an experiment, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be better than nothing, because if you think about it, if this just sits like this and it rains really hard, this is really going to get soaked and eventually start dripping from here down. And if the rain comes in at an angle, I'm pretty sure it's going to soak the motor. And if this doesn't dry the next day and your, clown goes on, it's going to be bad. I mean, I don't know how protected these are sealed or what. I don't know how these are built. I'm not going to disassemble all this. I don't want to get too far into it. So what I'm going to do is do the basics and into the point of basically just helping prevent any future damage. So let me show you exactly what I'm going to do to this guy, Uncle Boo Boo. And I also want to talk to you guys about the dolls. So let me do what I need to do, and then I'll show you guys what I did. So the plan here is that basically I'm going to get a smaller trash bag. I'm not going to use the big black ones that like I used on the jack in the box one. I'm going to use the smaller ones, and this is going to basically be covered all the way down to where the motor is. So if it does rain, it's going to drip down the side, and even if the rain does go through the clothes, it's not going to basically go through this because it's plastic. So let me put this over the body, get this installed, and then I'll show you what it looks like. This is the whole idea over it, is basically to go over the plastic here. If you're doing this yourself, you can pop the arms off, disconnect them, and then basically hang them on the body. I guess the body, what is this, the body frame that actually hooks in. So you can hang one of the arms here, you can hang the other arm on the other side, and then what you're going to do is place this bag over. That's if you have no one to help you. So, and then once you got that in, then basically what you're going to do is puncture the arm bracket into the plastic bag here, going through where the arm sits like this. Okay, now you're going to repeat that to the other side also. So I just want to show you guys that also. I just want to show you that the bag does go all the way down. The only other thing you're going to want to do is basically remember the IR sensor that's located on the front of the body. You might want to poke a hole as low as possible and then feed that through, so that way you can have the sensor placed out, or you can also put a slit through the bag. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how I address that issue. But this bag is basically going to sit like this. Put the clothes over. If it rains, it's going to just fall down, and it's going to keep all this protected. Another thing, this is for the theft part, for somebody just coming up and walking away with your Uncle Boo Boo. The head. So I want to address the head to keep it secured, so someone can't just come, pop it off, and just pull the cables. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in at the top, up there. Let's see, right there where the two holes are at, very up top, at the very top. So I'm gonna poke this through, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a couple of zip ties and basically wrap this around as an X. So I'll wrap one from here this way, here this way, to the frame up there. Zip tie it down using these. So I'm going to use these zip ties here and basically make an X on the top frame of that section to basically secure the head to the body. I'm just taking every precaution as possible. So the head will be attached, that won't be popping off. And then the next step would be to secure this to the floor outside, which I will be building a frame. I got something in mind, so I'll keep you guys updated with that. As far as the bag, so this is going to be for protecting the motor. This is already mounted. So like I said here, you poke it through. On the very bottom of this, I put a little hole, fed the cables through. So now all the cables are fed through. They're all protected. And then what I did up here on the head part, you really can't see it, but right off to the right side of his body, if you're standing from the back, I put a little slit to feed the cables through, because of course on this side of the body there's really no electronics, so if it does get a little drip, it's going to be fine. And the other thing with that too is once the head sits on top, it's pretty much protecting that hole with the mask and this covering. So let me go ahead, reassemble this, and that'll be pretty much it as far as protecting it from the weather, hopefully. And I'll keep you guys updated on how it does, and then we'll get to protecting it from him being picked up and walked away. So back with the head right here, securing him, because if you don't secure it, someone could just come and pop off the head, take off with it, and yeah, I don't want to take any chances over here because stuff ends up missing for decorations here where I live, and I'm just taking every precaution as possible. So my plan here is basically just to help slow anybody down that wants to just swing by and just try to take off with anything they can here, because it's happened here on this block. So I'm trying to just put on a show and basically help, you know, bring the spirit back for 2020, because it's been, you know, such a horrible year with everything that's going on. So me and the family decided, let's go all out for Halloween, because we normally do Christmas, and I just don't want someone coming around and just messing that up for everybody else to enjoy. So we want to secure his head. So what we're going to do here is, like I said, I hope you guys can see this, is poke the zip tie through the bag around the top of the frame that's a U shape from the head down the bottom of this bracket in there, and then tie this down, and then you go the opposite way of this pole through the bag over the top section of the U and on the opposite side, and then you pull this, so that way this head doesn't come off. Okay, now once you put it tighter, it ain't gonna move, but for demonstration purposes I just wanted you guys to see how I basically did it. So it's basically, the bag is pinched like this, and the head has two prongs that come down into a bracket that sits like this. So you're gonna wrap the zip tie around the top, that's basically like this going in, and you're gonna hold that down into the bracket that has the two holes that the head bracket sits into. I hope that I made it clear enough for everybody that's a owner of one of these clowning around clowns or anything similar to it that has the same mechanism. But that's basically how it goes. I mean, if I'm not making sense, feel free to, you know, leave me a message and I'll comment back and try to help you the best as possible. But once you got that down, crank it down tight, pull this bag over, make sure all your connections are made, basically redress him, and that's going to take care of that. For the sensor that's located in front of the body, all I did was basically disconnect it here from the connector section. On the right side of the body where there's really nothing located, poked a small hole, fed it through, plugged it back in, and you can see the bag sits a lot lower than everything here, so when it does rain, like I said, it's just gonna fall down and not stay super soaked, and hopefully allow this to dry a little bit quicker from the moisture that rises under it. So that's the plan here, and that's pretty much gonna end it for protecting the body. Now let's talk about the two little girls that he's holding. All right, everybody, so as for the little girls, pretty much protecting it from the weather, it's got this like foaming here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these plastic bags and basically line her body up, so it's gonna be tucked up from the top, the side here, because she is at an angle, so the back here a little bit, all the top, and under the, what is it, the armpit area. So basically this whole section and this whole section will be basically covered with the bag, but nothing down here below, because this is where the motor is, where she kicks. Let me get to it and I'll show you guys how it turns out. All I did was pass the bag through the top of the head section and basically keep that protected, so it kind of loops through the top, goes all around the body, and I kept all the foam on the inside that's already in here and basically put the bag around it. So now all this, the whole top section, is all protected by the bag. So it goes all the way down to about right here, and then the little kicker is here, which is fine because I just worried about the water dripping here and bypass all the electrical that's up here. And the one thing about this compared to the other ones is these motors are actually, they have covers, and I'll put a picture up here what I'm talking about. There's actually a cover over the motor. So yeah, I mean, the bag is completely full over all the foam, and that's gonna be it for basically protecting this clown here. I already did the one for the Jack in the Box, so the only step now is to do basically the protection of Mr. Uncle Boo Boo here. So we're gonna build a frame and then be able to anchor that down so he is really secured to the floor. So that's gonna protect this one. I'm gonna do the same here. This body, I already showed you how to protect him, and I'm not worried about any water going through there and dripping down because it is a mask and this is pretty much all covered up. So yeah, everybody, so let's get to the framing and we'll finish up this video. Bad news for her. So this one's protected because it has the Velcro in the back of her back here. There's Velcro. And then Uncle Boo Boo is basically all covered up with the bag. Everything's protected inside him. I ran the electric cable down his leg, so it's ready for that. This one, however, doesn't have any way for me to access the inside here, but I felt where the motor is, and it has a protector on it, that cover that I told you the other one did. So my only option is, if it does rain, I'll just bag her and that's it. But this one is basically exposed, but not so much. I'm not really worried because it is pretty well covered because looking at that, seems like filling it here, it's going to be the same way. So I'm not worried. This should be fine. I'm going to end it here for protecting it for the weather. The Jack-in-the-Box also, if you have one of those, go check that video out. I protected him and that seems good. The only thing left is to build the staging for both of these to secure it to the ground. So let's get that started and finish this up, everybody. What's up, everybody? All right, so let's get to the part where I was telling you guys I'm gonna better secure these animatronics out on the front yard. This will be attached to both my Jack-in-the-Box video and also my clowning around, aka Uncle Boo Boo. So what I have here is I got some security tie, security cable, whatever you want to call it, and this is going to go to the framing, looped around to my metal fence, and then basically I'm just going to lock it down with this. Also in the middle of each of the bodies I'm going to attach some cowbells, and those are going to be attached using zip ties underneath the clothing. And then what I did here was basically I have one for each side of the framing of each clown. So these are going to go into the ground, hammer them first for both sides of the framing or the front and back, either way. So that's what I whipped up. This ain't gonna basically stop, you know, these animatronics from being taken, but it's definitely gonna help slow down, you know, the process of them just being able to walk up on the yard and then take off with them. Another thing I'm gonna do is basically secure the extension cords, but that's no big deal. So like I said, I'm only doing this. You guys think it's probably unnecessary, but the reason I'm doing this is because in previous years we've had people just come up and want to help themselves to decorations. So if you're watching this, this is why, and hopefully you don't have this issue, but if you do, maybe this will help you. So with that, everybody, I'm gonna install these. I'll show you the final product and then we'll end the video there. But till then, I'll see you guys real soon. All right, everybody, I didn't use the brackets I said I was going to do. I basically hammered these in, and the bar is sitting over the frame on the front and back. And if you can see here, he does not lift up at all. Look at this.
Don't worry now.
So that's going to basically prevent someone from walking up and trying to just walk off with him. And then the other thing I want to show you guys, if you can hear me, is his head doesn't come off. It's tight. So that's secured by the zip ties. The body is protected by the trash bags, and now the whole animatronic is secured to the floor with a 1x2 and 2 stakes on the back and in the front. So that is how you rain protect your animatronic Uncle Boo Boo or clowning around, and also secure him to the front so someone can't just come and walk off with them. I mean, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to take it now, which gives me some time to catch them in the act. All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. All right, everybody, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.